In this video, I want to have a look a bit deeper at simple interest. So when we're calculating simple interest using our formula, we need to make sure that our rate and our number of time periods are all in the same units. So everything needs to be in years, or all of it in months or days. But those two things, the rate and the number of time periods, have to be in that same unit. Okay, so to help us with these calculations, we need to remember our conversions between these four time periods. So 1 year is equivalent to 12 months. 1 year is also equivalent to 52 weeks, and it's equivalent to 365 days. So we're not including leap years. Unless a question specifically asks you for it, assume it's not a leap year. All right, so if we have a look at our example, it says Jane invests $2,000 at an interest rate of 4.6% per annum for 7 months. How much interest will she earn? So our formula is I equals PRN. Our principal is at $2,000. Our rate is 0.046 once we convert that 4.6% to a decimal. But our rate is per annum, which means per year, and we've only got 7 months. So that means that our number of time periods, we want to convert that 7 months into years. So we're going to write it as 7 over 12. So we've got 7 months out of a total of 12 months in a year. So we've got 7/12 of a year. So now we're going to use those three numbers. So we're going to have our $2,000 times 0.046 times 7 over 12. And we're going to pop that in our calculators. We'll end up, so it's come up with a fraction. If we hit this button here, it'll convert it to a decimal. So we've ended up with $53, and this will round. We always round to 2 decimal places if we're talking about money. So it'll round to $53.67. Right, let's have a look at our next one. It says, how much money will Kyle have in the bank if he invests $4,230 at 5% per annum for 400 days? So again, this is our principal. Our rate is that 5%, or 0.05. And we've got 400 days. But again, our rate is per annum, so that's in per years. So we need to write this as a fraction of a year. Now, because it's 400 and there's only 365 days in a year, it's actually more than 1 whole year, but we can still write it just as an improper fraction. So that means that our number of time periods, we're going to have 400 over 365. So that's converting that into years. So using our formula then, so we've got I equals PRN. We're going to have that $4,230 times 0.05 times 400 over 365. Okay, so we've got 4230 times 0.05 times 400 over 365 will give us 231.78. So again, we've rounded to 2 decimal places. But our question doesn't ask us just for the interest, which is what we've calculated. It asks us how much money will Kyle have in the bank if he invests this much. So this is our interest, but how much money he's going to have is going to be the principal plus that interest. The amount of money he has is going to be the $4,230 plus that $231.78. So 4230 plus. We're going to end up with $4,461.78 all up. All right, our third example asks us to calculate the simple interest earned on $27,000 at 1.2% per month for 3 years. So this one, our $27,000 is our principal. Our 1.2% per month. So our rate is still going to be 0.012, but because it's per month, we need to convert this 3 years to months. Now, because we're going to a smaller unit, our n is going to be 3 times 12, because there's 12 months in every year and we've got 3 years. So that's going to give us 36 for our number of time periods. So our interest, PRN, so 27,000 times 0.012 times 36 will give us $11,664. So that's just a few examples of simple interest where we need to be careful of the time periods.